Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing great. I hope my video finds you in a good shape. I am finally back with a new video. I think that you've heard this sentence in every single video I have made. But I'm hoping this will be the last time you'll hear this sentence. Well, I'm not sure of that, but okay. So, as you can see, today, inshallah, I'm going to speak about my favorite reads of 2020. And before I start speaking about those books, I feel like I need to open a bracket, and I just need you to know how many books I read last year. I feel like this is a necessity because I'm seeing people sharing loads of books that they have read last year and every single year. And some people who are just starting off on the reading journey, they sometimes, or most of the time, they feel intimidated by the number of books, the huge number of books that they find other people reading. And I think that this is something that we need to talk about. And I'm going to start with myself because 2020 was not an excellent reading year for me. I only read 20 books. And when I say only, I am not bothered at all. I don't feel ashamed or anything. On the contrary, I feel like I have achieved a reasonable goal, given the amount of hardship I went through last year. I'm not going to talk about my personal stuff here, but I just need to tell you that I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud that I actually managed to read 20 books. And I just want to tell you guys, please, if you feel like you can't read 20 books, then it's fine. If you can just read two books, one book, whatever. I mean, nobody cares, okay? Just read the books you want to read, the books you feel like reading, and don't question your reading abilities. Read at your own pace, please, because, yeah, of course, being surrounded with people who read a lot of books is really inspiring. It can be inspiring at times, but also it can be a bit pressuring. It can be a little bit, stressful to some other people. So I just needed to come out and say this. I mean, not everyone is going to be capable of achieving a number of 100 books a year, for example, or 150. I am not against that at all. Most of my favorite bookstagrammers and YouTubers read so many books, and I'm totally okay with that. But I think you got the message. So please, if you can only read one book, half a book per month, then that's totally fine. If you can read just 10 pages a month or 10 pages 2 months, then it's really really fine. I just needed to open this bracket and deliver this message, because I also get some messages from some people who follow me on Instagram asking me how can you read so many books. Please, guys, I don't read so many books. You should see the other people, the other bookstagrammers and YouTubers who can read a lot more than I do. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to close the bracket and I'm going to go ahead and share with you my favorite reads of 2020. Okay, so the first book is The Help by Kathryn Stockett. Why I specifically loved this book, because I think that I have read it at the right time, and I think that timing is really important when it comes to enjoying a certain book. Other than it's actually a historical fiction, my favorite genre. It's really, really, really an amazing book. I think that it's going to stay with me forever. And I'm just going to to tell you how I felt right after I finished, or right after I closed the book. You know that feeling when you just can't let go of those characters you were, you are just getting used to them, and you actually got used to them, and you just can't let go. You feel like you're going to miss them, and you feel like you got really really attached to every single one of them. um all of them, actually, all of the characters were so hilarious. They were powerful, they were remarkable, and each in their own way. And I felt like they were so witty and so fun to be around. It's actually the kind of book that makes you go through all kinds of feelings, and these are the books that I usually enjoy the most. The books that make you smile and laugh and cry and feel like you wanna punch a specific character right on the nose. It's just, it really was a fun experience, and I loved it so much. Next on the list is The Kite Runner. Again, I don't have a physical copy of this book because I have listened to the audiobook. The audiobook was actually narrated by Khaled Hosseini, the author himself, and it's actually added so much to the listening to the audiobook experience. Having the author himself narrating his book, I mean, he's the best one to narrate the characters that he himself built. The first book that I have read of Khaled Hosseini was A Thousand Splendid Suns. I enjoyed that book so much, but not as much as I enjoyed The Kite Runner. I loved everything about that book, although it didn't bring much joy, as much as it brought all kinds of gruesome feelings. It was so painful, so enraging. I think that I already said that in one of my videos. The writing style, of course, is amazing. I mean, who wouldn't agree that Khaled Hosseini is one of the most talented, most amazing storytellers of our time? I enjoyed reading this book, although it was, it was really really hard to go through. I cried while listening to the audiobook, and I really want to have the physical copy of the book. And this shows how much I love this book. This shows how much I cared about the characters, and I just, I felt like they were so real. And this is what I love about Khaled Hosseini. He brings his characters into life, and he makes you feel like you want to meet them, you want to sit with them, you want to talk to them, you want to know more about them. And this is something that I don't usually find in every single book I read. Please, if you haven't read The Kite Runner yet, I think that it's time for you to grab it and read it. The next one would be Dreams of Trespass by Fatima Mernissi. I have a separate book review of this book in my channel. I will leave the link in my description box. And oh my God, I just remembering that I have read this book, it makes me smile. Each time I remember reading this book, each time I remember the characters, the chapters, the writing style, the descriptions, and it was just so super colorful, and it was just so refreshing. I actually have just the physical copy in French. I haven't read it in French, though. I have read the English version on my laptop. And the thing about this book is that reading Mernissi talking about her childhood and the women she was surrounded with, the atmosphere that she was brought up in is just, it just made me feel like I reconnected with my Moroccan origins. It made me picture the Moroccan Fassi society really clearly. And again, Fatima Mernissi is an amazing writer. I'm not saying this just because she's Moroccan and I'm Moroccan, but I really enjoyed that book. It was super fast, and I just didn't feel bored. I mean, I was expecting to, you know, get bored at a certain point in the book, but it didn't happen. And this is how brilliant, or how brilliantly it was written. I just loved it so much, and I feel so proud that I finally read a book by Fatima Mernissi, and I'm so glad that I picked this one first. Book number 4 would be a book that I read in Arabic. It's the Republic of False Truths by Alaa Elasswany, جمهورية كأن in Arabic. I have listened again to the audiobook, and it was my first encounter with the author, and it just made me fall in love with his writing style, with his exceptionally um, raw and frank and honest perspective of the Egyptian society. This book in particular has got a special place in my heart because, when you are at this place in your life and you're just in need of a little break, a little escapade, you feel like you only need something to take your mind off everything that is going around you. Well, this book had the power to take me on this wild adventure, to meet multiple characters from different social backgrounds, political affiliations, and just really, really different characters you get to meet. And this is something special in Alaa Elasswany's writings. I have read only 2 of his books, and both of them give you an insight into the Egyptian society. You get to meet the corrupted, you get to meet the religious, you get to meet the politically engaged, you get to meet the rebellious. It's just, he just tries to paint this whole image of the Egyptian society. He tries to engage you in the story, and this is how powerful his works are. I just couldn't get enough. By the way, this is quite a long book. I don't remember how many hours I listened to the audiobook, but I didn't even pay attention to the time. I just kept listening, and I forgot completely about everything that was happening around me. And this is exactly what I was looking for. I got so emotional while listening to the audiobook. I could get into the minds of every single character, and this is also something really, really a strong capacity that Alaa Elasswany has. He can make you feel exactly what the characters feel. He makes you go through all the shit they go through. He makes you live everything they live. He makes you even ache for them. He makes you feel sad for them. He makes you feel compassionate with the filthiest character of his. He's just so brilliant. And again, if you haven't read this book, I think that it's time for you to pick it up. I think that his works are translated into English and French, and into other languages too. So this book follows multiple characters throughout the rise of the Egyptian Revolution. So you get to see how it all started. It makes you see how Egyptians of different colors, different beliefs, different social classes, different political interests come together as one to form one body and to face the enemy, to face the whole corrupted system. It was just so brilliantly written, and how you get to see those characters by the end of the novel, how their roads intersect, how they come to meet, how they get to know each other at a certain point in the story. It's just so amazing, and I loved it so much. And last but not least, Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. And before I even start talking about this book, just look at how I annotated every single part in this book. I haven't annotated a book in a really long time, and if you can see, just this will give you a clear idea of how much I enjoyed reading this book. This wasn't my first experience with Haruki Murakami. I already said that I have had my first encounter with with Murakami reading his book Kafka on the Shore. I haven't finished the book yet, but it just made me fall in love with his writing style, with his brain. I mean, oh my God, he's so unique, and the way he writes, the way he thinks, the way he puts words together is just so brilliant. I'm just gonna put it briefly because I think that I'm gonna make a separate book review about Norwegian Wood, because I think that I have a lot of things I want to share with you guys. If you have read one of his other books and you feel like, nah, it wasn't for you, I think that this book in particular may hit differently. When I started reading Norwegian Wood, I had this idea that this is going to have some magical realism into it, which didn't happen. It wasn't in any way similar to Kafka on the Shore, other than the writing style, of course, because when you read Haruki Murakami, you know that this is him writing. I'm not going to talk a lot about the book, but I'm just going to tell you that this is a book you want to read if you feel like you need to be provoked, okay? You need a book that will change your perspective towards so many aspects of life. If you feel like you are in the mood for a book that will make you reflect, that will make you think, that will make you feel, that will make you observe more, it's about everything. It's about life. It's about friendship. It's about love. It's about everything you can think of. I can't describe how I felt reading this book, but I certainly had an amazing experience reading it. It made me feel sort of understood, if that makes sense, but I just loved it so much, and I think this is going to be one of my favorites Haruki Murakami's reads ever. If I ever get to read his other works, I mean, of course, I want to read his other books, but I just loved it so much, and I would love for you guys to try and read it. It's not as intimidating as it may sound, because I thought that it was a little bit so, complicated to understand or something like that. I don't know why, but I felt like I wouldn't enjoy it. I felt like maybe it wouldn't level up to my expectations, but it so did. It was an amazing experience. So this brings me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you have watched this video until the end, please leave your comments with your suggestions of similar books and books that you have enjoyed last year. Yeah, that will be all. thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. I think that my next video is going to be a review of Norwegian Wood. And until next time, take good care of yourselves, guys, and bye.